So this is another episode of the Eskwilax Hour, number 170. I'm Efrain Martinez. It's been a long time. It's been a while. People have been asking, where have we been? Well, actually, it's 2020. It's coronavirus times. We got social distancing going. We got people wearing masks as if it was normal on a day-to-day basis. And today we came to the valley, visit Amelthyst. And she was working and is still working on her current project on the, I believe it's Laurel Canyon and Van Nuys. Thank you for being here, us, today. And yeah, let's get right into it. So you go by Amelthyst, right?
Yeah, or close friends call me Melly.
Yes. I've seen like artists coming up and just kind of work on more, I guess in this case, public art, such as the one right here today. And what is it, an electric box? Or?
Yeah, it's an electric box.
And yeah, so how do you go about that project that you're working on? How did you get it? Did you get permission from the city, or is it through an organization?
It's through an organization, 1111 Collective, with the city as well. The city commissioned the artists, such as myself and other artists around the San Fernando Valley. Yeah, it was just a call for artists that I responded to on Instagram.
And like, did you submit just one design? Two? How many designs were you supposed to submit in order to be chosen?
You could submit as many as you want. For me personally, I submitted 10. Usually, when I do submit to these call for artists, I'd submit like 2 or 3, usually 2. But this time, since I really wanted it, I submitted 10, and all 10 were different designs, different styles. So this one that I was working on was something different that I don't usually do.
And the one they chose, what's like the subject on it? Way, like I see a lot of, like you said, bright colors. A lot of and you also painted your friend on there.
Yeah, I painted. I asked my friend Glenda if I could use her as a reference. So the theme that I got chosen for was native lands. There was many other themes like arts, music, and a bunch of other themes that I had submitted to, but this one was the one that I got chosen for. And yeah, I had asked her if I can use her as a reference, because since she's a close friend of mine that I would want to represent, not just like, well, to the public, and knowing that her family comes from the same place that my family comes from, I brought that connection.
Yeah, so we I was also noticing, like, you have certain plants, certain like mountains on there, corn on there. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how you chose like the subjects that are on there also?
Well, I drew Glenda on the center, and then above is a sun with the corn on top of it. Like I said, me and her, like, our families come from the same place, from Jalisco, and she has done a lot of research, and she like shares it with me, and we just share it with each other. So I did my own too, and those specific plants came up as like the main plants were people from Jalisco, back like the indigenous people from Jalisco, like those were the plants that they used and grew and stuff like that. So I wanted to represent that. And I mean, I'm still working on a lot. Like, I also wanted to add like tongva plants and like the yucca plant, and then a bear. Like, I've encountered a bear once when I went camping, but I didn't like see it like face to face. I just saw it, the shadow, like through my tent. But other than that, I just wanted to represent like just a whole, like, just the scenery and the plants and animals as well as the people.
Yeah. What about the like you said, you're not used to working with this type of palette, right? I think you had more reds and like just blues.
Yeah, it was more like monochromatic, and this one was more bright and like just a lot of bright colors that I haven't really used.
And also just the scale itself, correct? You had mentioned that.
Oh yeah.
The scale is also, and just having to do it in public and having people just like stop by and ask you, like, you know, every now and then they'll ask you about why you're doing it, or, you know, just basic questions. Because the time we were there, like, just kind of, you know, visiting you, I did notice people stopped by and were very curious about what you were doing.
Yeah, that's my first more public mural. Like, I did one mural with my friend Des and 3 other girls that she had chosen for us to collaborate with, but that was inside like inside a space, and it was like closed and dark. This one was more when I had time to go out. Like I would go to work and then head to the electric box, and yeah, it was different. Like even though I wasn't facing a lot of the public, there's still a lot of people walking by and like would stop and like tap me on my shoulder, and I had my headphones on, and they would like just tell me that they liked it or something.
Yeah, I saw that you were getting a lot of compliments on it, which means the local community will be more likely to, what do you call it, will enjoy it, will love having it in there for as long as possible, because it is out on the streets and there is like weathering. And did you guys end up putting like a coat on it, like an anti?
Yeah, we have a anti-graffiti coat that they provided. I put it on one side, and I still have the other 3 sides to put it on, but I just put it on the front sides because I took a lot of time on it, so I just wanted to make sure it's okay.
And I was gonna ask you your opinion on, I don't know if growing up on this side of town, but me personally, growing up in LA, I saw a lot of like graffiti murals and just street murals in general, and a lot of that was like motivation to make art myself. Is that something you want to achieve with your art? Like just like if kids go by it, or like one day they'll be like, wow, I saw an original piece by Amelthyst and she inspired me to create.
Yeah, I definitely would. Like I already can give kind of an example. Like my nieces, every time they come over, and like I would show them like how to draw and stuff, and every time they come now, they just already know, and like they just grab the stuff and just start painting, and they always still tell me that. And I have like family friends, like their daughters or kids, like they ask me like questions about art, and definitely like with community, just the community, like children or anybody, people my age or older, like I would definitely want to be an inspiration for that.
Well, that's good that we're all putting art out there on that scale where people are free to look at it and they don't have to go to a museum, because not all the museums are mostly one side of town. We're out here. I don't know if they have any out here.
No, they had one, I believe in Northridge, and then that shut down like 4 years ago. Growing up around here, every time I would like take the bus or like to school or wherever I was going to work, it was mostly like slap art. Like some people did tag, but it wasn't like oh, like it inspires me to do something. It was mostly like the slaps that would freaking inspire me. But yeah, definitely we would have to go out of our way to find it.
Yeah, that's that's amazing how, like, you saw some art many years ago, and then you're like, you know what, I'm gonna keep doing it because one day I'm gonna be able to do, put it on the wall just like these people are doing it. And here you are today, just sharing it with everybody over here in the valley. You have any projects coming up after this?
After this, no. I'm just working on my website. Just working on merch, like trying to get my art on merch. So far, I just made like a quote design. Well, my sister came up with the quote, and we're both like co-founders of the website, or the brand.
What's the brand called?
Arte Mujeres.
Okay. And that's the website name too?
Yeah, it's artemujeres.com. And yeah, I just been working on designs for that, and then so I could just drop like a whole collection of things like just in one go so people could look through it. Because so far I just have 2 shirts, and it's the same design, a t-shirt and a long sleeve, but for the next drop I want to drop like different kinds of merch.
What about commissions? Are you taking commissions just in case if people want to know?
Yeah, commissions I take it all year round, but this month I already have the deadline set, like since it does get busy packed like with commissions, so I guess next month would be when I start taking commissions again. Other than that, like I'm open all year round for any type of commission.
Okay, well, let's see. We've been sitting here for about 10 minutes now. Again, thank you for your time and just sharing us some of your words. Because I remember you came on the show like in 2018. and you were doing body painting. Is that something you're still doing nowadays, or you're more focused on canvas work?
I haven't done body art probably since that time, and especially right now with the whole coronavirus, like I haven't even thought about. I have thought about doing it, but I just don't know how with this whole situation we're in right now. But that's something I would want to get back into for sure. Right now it's just been commissions, and I guess now I'll focus like on the mural works too, trying to get out there.
In regards to coronavirus, does your art help you just kind of like stay focused? So I'm guessing it affects everybody a little bit differently.
Yeah, like for me, I've tried writing because I used to write too. Just like, I wouldn't say poetry, just, I don't know, thoughts, I guess. Maybe even poetry, I guess. But for me, I guess that form of art was difficult for me this year. But I still want to try to, but as long as we have a different form of art to express ourselves, I think that's the first step, you know?
How do you feel about like people giving virtual classes, you know, like in this case art classes, compared to like actual people to people classes where, you know, you get to kind of see each other in a more familiar setting, like a classroom? Do you think it affects like the quality of work?
I think it depends on the person. Like for me, I know I was going to Mission for a while, and I was doing online classes, but because of work, it was just more convenient for me. And I had took one art class online before Corona, so I think it just depends on the person. I know for me, with art, if I want to do it, not because of my degree or anything, but just because I want to learn, I would prefer to do it in person. But I think it just depends on.
Yeah, I was also mentioning it because, you know, again, art helps people cope with like just being alone or not being in contact with other artists or just friends in general. And I guess what I'm asking is like, do you feel comfortable taking instructions from like a video?
I honestly would prefer it in person. I have taken classes online through like videos, like art classes, and I think it also depends on the instructor, because I've had some where it was kind of hard, like they wouldn't give much information. It was more like, here's this whole page, like read it, and some would actually put in work on their videos, and like I would honestly prefer it in person. But I know like with the situation right now, it's like, I don't know what their plan is.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, hopefully they help with this. You know, the government helps out and just kind of makes it not go away, but just kind of makes things better. I mean, people also just everybody can cooperate and see where we go from here. Since, like I was mentioning earlier, one day they're saying, you know, do this, the next day they're saying don't do this, and it's kind of have everybody on the edge.
That's true.
And I've also seen right now, I know this is kind of off topic, like people making like artist funds, because a lot of artists do either were making a living off their art and just their art, and also artists that they were already you know, going to school and paying bills, and then now with this virus it's making even harder for them. And like you said, like some of us, like me myself, I have like a regular 9 to 5, and so I imagine already other artists how tough it is for them. And when it comes to like their finances. And what's your opinion on that?
On them making funds, or?
Yeah, I mean, no, just how everybody's been helping each other, like making.
I think it's great, honestly. Like me myself, like when they shut everything down, I had lost my job in the beginning, and you know, I needed rent money and money for food, so I started taking. I didn't take donations. I did more like commissions, but like on sale. And there's a lot of support. So I think it's very helpful and very beautiful for everybody to help each other, even like when they can't even help themselves, you know. So I think honestly that has been the highlight of this year for me, like in my opinion, like just seeing how everybody has been helping each other.
Just having the community come together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that on my social media a lot too. Like whenever artists just kind of put it out there that they do need that little extra help, they do post their what is it, Cash App? What is that called?
Yeah, like a Cash App or like Venmo or
Venmo.
Everybody has different ways of payment. Yeah.
Which is good. That way, like you said, everybody can support a little, even if it's not much, but support, you know, especially in these tough times. So going back to like your current work right here on the electrical box, how often do they do it? Like this project, is it every year, or is this the first year they've done it, or?
The last open call that they had here in the valley that I had applied to, I believe was 2 years ago, and that was for Glendale. And each of them have different themes. I haven't seen any yet where it's like open theme or whatever. Usually they have a set theme, and they approve the design and everything. Because that's how you have to submit it. You have to submit the design and like explain what you're painting, and then you have to submit a biography of yourself, and then there's the process of when you get accepted. And I think it's like every 2 years or so. Yeah.
Beautifying a part of like the concrete jungle, as we noticed earlier, that the little corner where yours is at, it's not the best neighborhood, but definitely the people that did notice it, they're pretty happy to see it.
Yeah, definitely. And I've heard the same thing from people that pass by. Like they said those exact words, like thank you for beautifying the city, thank you for beautifying Pacoima. Yeah, I agree. It's beautifying the city, and especially the concrete jungle. It's too much, in my opinion. It's too bland and dull. So adding these colors, especially around this area, like growing up, there wasn't really much. Like I think throughout the years there has been more. So I'm glad to be a part of it.
Well, I want to thank you for your time again, if I haven't done it already.
Thank you.
Do you have any shout outs, anybody you want to say hi to, or just people who have been helping you out this year?
Shout out to my dad, my sisters, my family, all of my friends, you. Shout out to my boyfriend. Shout out to Glenda for letting me use her as a reference. And then shout out to Cruz, who we just talked about with her Netflix commission. And who else? Shout out to the community for coming out and supporting and loving the mural. And shout out to everybody that has been helping other artists and other people struggling this year. And yeah.
And thank you guys for listening this time, because you guys can't really see us. But we'll be working on getting more visuals